Wait, possible DC Kevin Feige candidate announced by THR? Oh wait, DC's Kevin Feige found. Producer Dan Lin talks to take control of film, TV. I don't know who this guy is. I've never seen him before, but let's do this. And that's fun when breaking news happens, isn't it?
Right. This is a first. The executive producer counts hits such as the live-action Aladdin, the Lego Movie, and the It horror movies, and talks.
Yeah, so the executive turned producer who counts Aladdin, the Lego Movie, It horror films, is in talks to take the role of the DC chief, multiple sources tell THR. The role encompasses not just overseeing film, but television as well, with Lin reporting directly to Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, according to sources. The structure bypasses three separate division heads, Warner Brothers Pictures, Michael DeLuca, and Pam Abney, and HBO Max chief Casey Bloys, and Warner Brothers TV chair Channing Dungey, and puts control of DC in the hands of one person. Let's see. Walter Mata, the current head of DC Films, would transition out of the role, according to sources. If a deal closes, it would cap off months of one of the most intense executive searches in recent memory, one that faced scrutiny by rival Hollywood producers and executives as well as DC fans. Zaslav has said he was searching for Warner's own version of Kevin Feige, the famed Marvel executive who steered a rival comic book company's movies and then later its TV portfolio in a multi-billion-dollar pop culture juggernaut. And it goes on some more. But first off, I don't know this guy. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that he won't be good. I mean, I like Aladdin. I liked Lego Movie. I liked the It films. I liked. But what role did he really play in those? And not only that,
I think the article kind of alludes to him being under Alan Horn's tutelage, and I know Zaslav has kind of leaned a little heavy on Alan Horn to kind of in the paragraph.
Yeah, I'm reading it now. Yeah, Lin's name rose late in the game, but he has a champion in Warner's advisor, Alan Horn, the former Disney chair who ran Warner as president and COO in the aughts. It was during that latter tenure that Lin worked for Horn, starting as a junior exec and rising to senior VP of production. He struck on his own as producer in 2008, but not before shepherding movies such as The Departed, 10,000 BC. He also oversaw the infamous and aborted Justice League feature that was going to be directed by George Miller. Justice League Mortal, I believe is what that was called.
Release the Mortal cut.
Lin is a respected producer known for his smarts and in a town full of hype and egos, his willingness to find experts on the fields that are not his forte. He has worked on franchises, the Robert Downey Jr. starring Sherlock Holmes movies, the 4 Lego films, as well as widely successful 2-part adaptation of Stephen King's It. His resume ranges from big offerings such as the billion-dollar grossing bright-colored Aladdin to intimate dramas such as the Oscar-nominated The Two Popes. He's coming off an early August release of Universal's Joe Coy comedy Easter Sunday. First off, everything that he's done that I've seen, I liked. So that's
I was just about to say, and The Departed is, I mean, obviously like a top 5 movie for me of all time. Like that's, I was really surprised to, I guess, just read that latter part because I was just kind of briefly skimming through it. But what I like is that there's a range, and I think that's something that DC can embrace is kind of a range of movies that kind of range from, you could have a palette that's similar to Marvel for certain movies like Shazam, because Shazam certainly the basic premise of Shazam is a kid being a superhero. So obviously you're going to have a lot more of a giddy old time over there, but there should be a range that keeps the main storyline of the universe moving forward. I know a lot of excitement in chat has been over Superman and Batman coming back or kind of returning to be the focal point, but it'd be really nice to see this universe get fleshed out in a way. And while I'll always love projects that revolve around that, I think having a wide range of things could really benefit this universe, with Marvel seemingly like being stuck in the sand a little bit with their formula kind of wearing off in a way.
Yeah. My only concern, and taking a look, because he does, he has TV experience as well, which is a key factor in the position. Lin and his company executive produced the Lethal Weapon show, which I freaking loved. I was so upset when everything happened on that show, and they eventually had to cancel it. That show I thought was phenomenal. He also
Netflix Avatar.
Yeah. So Walker reboot, which is on season 3, and then Avatar: Last Bender, the live action series for Netflix.
Okay.
So my only concern is, what does he know about DC? That's my concern, because let's take a look at it. Kevin Feige. Everybody keeps saying we want the Kevin Feige. We want a Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige worked in comic book films from the late 90s for 10, 11 years. That's what he did. He worked with Sam Raimi on the Spider-Man films. He did was on the X-Men movies. He was in this, I think he was in that Hulk film. He not in it, but worked on it. He did things with comic book films for 10 years before he was head of Marvel Studios and shepherding in the MCU. You're not going to find somebody like that when it comes to DC. You're not going to find anybody like that. However, I would still like to have somebody who knows DC.
It does say in the article that he is a respected producer, and I'm literally quoting this, known for his smarts and in a town full of hype and egos, his willingness to find experts on the fields that are not his forte. So that's something that, while he may be the overall head of things, I think maybe there could be somebody assigned that is directly under his tutelage that would have some sort of comic book experience. And, I don't know what Jim Lee's doing these days, but I know that he's deeply involved with DC at the moment. And I think he has a really good understanding of what the universe needs, what it's had, that this is my name being thrown into the ring for sure. You're not going to really find anybody that knows more about DC Comics than Jim Lee. So it's, I think that would be kind of a smart move, honestly, or, at a time where Jeff Johns wasn't in the position that he was in. Now that would be, or something that was tried, but I think Jim Lee would be an interesting option for somebody to directly work, not directly work under, but to work with Dan Lin and kind of collaborate and kind of see what this universe could be moving forward, with Zaslav seemingly wanting to bring back, I don't want to say the Snyderverse, but bringing back the Snyder characters in terms of Ben Affleck's Batman, Henry Cavill's Superman, and kind of making them the focal point of the DCEU, at least for the moment, until they could build something that allows them to reset and completely overdo their things and kind of figure out what they want to do with their own iterations in the next decade.
Yeah. No, and I'm cool with that. And I'm good. Like, if if he gets the right people, because that's another big thing that Kevin Feige did, especially in the early days of the MCU, is he got the right people to write those films, to direct those films, and to work with. It's been hit or miss in the later years, but I think Kevin Feige's just spread too thin at this point. But when it comes to this, that's kind of my worry: is he going to be able to juggle everything, and how is he going to juggle everything? I get this want to have one guy, but I think when it comes to DC, I think it's going to have to be a team of people, where Dan Lin is the head of the team of people, but I think he's going to have to get those people to surround him that truly understand these characters, because it is, while yes, you're talking about superheroes just like Marvel, you're talking about otherworldly beings just like Marvel, but these characters are vastly different than Marvel's 100%. Characters. Yeah. And they need to be handled properly. And look, as much as I love what Zack Snyder was doing, obviously that wasn't the proper way to handle them to become huge hits.
In some elements,
to be big hits is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think the approach was there in terms of having a grounded reality, but I think the execution of some of the characters and their motivation and arcs was definitely something that left a lot to be desired for sure. But
yeah,
I really like
they're doing an Inspector Gadget movie. Jeez,
no,
Johnny Quest movie. Oh shit! Look at that.
Involved in quite a lot.
Wait a minute. What is this? A Lilo and Stitch? Are they doing a live action Lilo and Stitch movie?
Did we just like spoil so much stuff?
This is
right
stuff
now?
that I didn't know.
We have so much,
like,
Rob. We have so much breaking news going on. I feel like in all the midst of the chaos, I think you've actually failed to realize that we have not had a daily The Boys segment in here. And I just want to break the news that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is officially a live action remake of Disney's animated. Wow. Is officially joining the cast of The Boys. So I just want to throw that in there on top of all these other bombs that we're kind of releasing. Lilo and Stitch coming to a theater near you for 2024. Live action. Wouldn't be surprised if it has The Rock in it or something.
No, don't put The Rock in it. No. Look, I love The Rock, but no, I don't want him in this. This is too special for that. Anyways, Jeffrey Dean Morgan being in The Boys, that is going to be awesome. Although I remember hearing that he was going to be in The Boys like a year ago, so I think it's just now the confirmation.
I think it was just like a scheduling conflict that he wasn't able to join, but I think this is. I think he promised.
This is official. This is official now.
This is like official, and I think he promised Eric Kripke like, yeah, I'll be there for sure. So, yeah, and that's just like a small bomb on top of everything else that's going on right now. Yeah, Dan Lin's thing is pretty based on.
Sorry, I'm just kind of like Lilo and Stitch, Inspector Gadget, and Johnny Quest. Like, I'm all for it.
I'm scared for you to scroll down, honestly, at this point.
Well, that's all that's upcoming. Everything else is what he's made.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Godzilla versus King. I mean, to be honest with you, just looking at his picture, he seems like he has the. I mean, I guess presentable face to like an audience, let's say like fandom and stuff. The way like Kevin Feige kind of exposes himself, but I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Exposes himself? Whoa, man.
Whoa. Or kind of presents himself in a way. So
there we go. Presents. I like that one better.
Going to be interesting for sure. It seems like he has a really good background in terms of producing and stuff. So he sees what's work and doesn't work. But my main concern here is that I don't really see any like comic book movies. I mean, you can't really count the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah, Lego Batman movie. I mean that. Yeah, he's done both of them. I guess the other one is done, or is it still? I don't know. Did it come out? Did I miss it? I don't know. I really like the first one.
I feel like it's like such a debatable argument for that one. Yeah.
There's really nothing else that.
Two Popes is definitely a recommendation. That has Jude Law and Anthony Hopkins in it. Terminator Salvation.
I mean, I don't hate his resume. I'm not even a little bit, and I like his resume, which means because you take a look, if he's a producer or executive producer, he's got some skin in the game with some of these producer counts, and making sure the right directors and right writers are involved. So I gotta say He's got a good resume here.
Nothing's finalized. It seems like he's just in talks, but things could change.
My guess is they're really close though at this point. If THR is reporting on it, I feel like it's close.
Okay.
And my guy, like I don't know. I just had this feeling that with them reporting on it, what's that?
Maybe trying to get feedback from the public in a way. I mean, I don't know.
Or they're just talking about money right now. What are they going to pay him? Okay. What's the contract going to look like? Are they like? I can't imagine they probably will do like a 3-year contract or something like that and see how everything goes. But is 3 years enough if you think about it? Because 1 year is going to be taken up by movies that are already made, and then year 2 is going to be making the next movies, and then year 3 you're get
that are already in production when he comes in. Those movies. So it's really like a 2-year process at that, and then realistically, is there going to be a gap in between when we see the universe continue in a way? I don't know. I guess The Flash is really going to be one of the most important movies moving forward in this universe. So not that it already wasn't. So.
Look, I hope I'm right. I'm sticking to my theory that they're going to move The Flash. And I said this probably a month or two ago that I thought that could happen. But I'm sticking to my theory that they're moving Flash early to February, so I hope it does happen.